Все, давай Отарчик, блядь, ебашим.
Так, я думаю, начнем с твоей трансформации, да?
Yeah, chill, bro, easy. It's very cool, потому что мы же еще четко смонтируем, блядь, people will love it. Я же долго не выставлял именно...
Ты полгода, да, мы не виделись?
5 months, bro.
5 months.
It's a very long time,
almost half year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I left, I was like, when I went for Hamzat's training camp, I think I was like 106, 107. So basically around like 13, 14 kilos.
Yeah.
It's a lot, bro.
So, Steve, I didn't see you almost half year, and I see you had huge change with your body. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, actually, the biggest change in my life, but it's something that came from long, long ago it's a mountain I never climbed, you know? And I had a lot of issues with this all the time because my problem always was that I start something, but I never finish it. So I was like a match, you know? You get the match going, but the match goes out very fast, you know? So this was my big issue. And for some reason, it was the weirdest thing because when I had my baby, I thought that I would be motivated and I would be working different, but actually the complete opposite happened. I went downhill, you know, and I probably got to like 118 kilos. It was the lowest point in my life. And then I had a neck injury, actually, and I went to the doctor, and I was sitting, I was like, obviously I know that the reason why I'm having these injuries is because I'm overweight, and I try to do some kind of activity.
Yeah.
And if I don't do something for a while, then I do it very heavy or do something very fast, then of course you're gonna have damage. And when I went to the doctor, I realized I was like, probably for a month, I'm not gonna be able to move, so I need to relax. And this is the time when I just was like trying to get to the gym, start moving, and then I'm like, why? Why is this happening every time, you know? And then it's weird because this is also where my peptide journey started. Why I bring it up is because I had an injury, and then I asked the doctor, I was like, do you guys have BPC, TB, whatever? I heard it helps a little bit. He said, yeah, sure, here. And then during that time, I was thinking to myself, I said, okay, so either I basically give up what I just started again and fail again, or I will at least start working on something that I can, if I can do something physically. So I said I will work on my mindset. So started taking the peptides, started working on little exercises, trying to get my injury to feel better. And during this first month, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to prepare my mind for when the injury gets better so I could get back to training and then start working on it little by little. But the biggest and most challenging thing was to get started. And that was what I was worried about and scared of the most. Because, you know, when you look at it, for example, if you want to climb up a staircase and you see 150 stairs, if you think about leaping at one time, it's not possible. But if you go step by step by step by step, look now, 1 year later, I got there, you know. But yeah, it was very scary, hard, and the best part about it is that you have to do it alone. No one will ever do it for you. But the thing is, it's a process. Like, you learn a lot about yourself, and it was so hard in the beginning, but it's good because I'm starting from absolute negative, you know? So any little progress, you already start feeling better. You know, it's like when you go on the treadmill, you don't want to train, but then you start sweating, and you're like, okay, I want to stay on, I want to work more, and you feel better. So that's kind of how it was for me. But I got to say that what I did different this time was that the first 2 to 3 months, I worked a lot on my mindset. That's what I never did before. It was always like, oh, I need to get in shape, I need to look good, that's it. But now it's like, well, why did I fail 50 times? Why did I never get to where I want to get to? It's because my mind wasn't right, you know? So I was like, let's change something. And I worked the first 2-3 months on my mindset, slowly started getting into like training, eating clean. And that's when Hamzat actually called me for the camp. And then, you know, I went there, and when you're in an environment, when you're around all these athletes and fighters that are constantly pushing each other and you see people are in shape, you kind of have to fit in. But how can you fit in when you're so behind, you know? And also, I love the fact that I have a lot of really great people around me that look at me and say, man, you don't look good. You're not healthy, you know? You look like shit, you know, to be exact. And in the beginning, it hurt a little bit, but then you realize I'd rather have these people that tell me that because it makes you want to change something rather than people telling you, oh, it's okay. I love you. It's okay. Keep going. Because before it was like that. That's why I, you know, never got to where I wanted to get to, you know? And still there was a constant different challenges, different injuries, But I just always told myself, I said, this time I need to change because it wasn't for me. It was for my family. That was the biggest motivation for me. I think I didn't have that before. Not even motivation, I would say drive.
Yeah.
And even today, I still sit here. I'm still working on it. You know, so many people are like, oh, wow, you have this amazing transformation. But for me, it's like I worked so hard this last year just to get myself to zero. It means I was so behind that now I'm on zero. So now I can build on that. But all this like feedback and people being so nice, I mean, it's great. I guess it's nice to get out of a shithole.
Yeah.
You know, it feels good. So I'm happy that people appreciate it. Some people say that it motivates them, you know, that it helps them. But I think I found a new path in my journey in life, you know?
Yeah.
That was a fucking long answer, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's
Actually,
okay.
I tried to do it less.
I'm enjoy it.
I tried it less because if I start, it's going to be 1 hour just of this, you know?
Yeah, I'm enjoy it. Yeah, sure. Do you feel how easy for you doing some physical things in this new shape?
Man, I can't sit, you know? It's weird because the biggest difficulty that I had when I was 118 kilos is I didn't want to go anywhere. Meetings, business calls, you know, you don't even have the confidence. You don't feel like yourself. You look at yourself in the mirror. I mean, if you don't look at yourself and say, okay, I'm happy with what I see, what do you think other people think of you, right? So, you know, you go to a meeting, everyone judges you. It doesn't matter. You have a business meeting or whatever. When you sit down at the table, if you don't look fit, you don't look good, your clothes are not good, people will not take you serious, you know? So I started looking at it from a business standpoint. And I just realized, I said, there was a lot of things that were coming from many sides. The family, and then I have like some of the best athletes in the world and the best people around me. And that wasn't enough for me to change before. That was what made it sad for me. So when I looked in the mirror, I said, I'm always asking for God to send great people in my life to motivate me, to drive me, to teach me something. Here I have the best people, and what am I doing? I'm wasting everything away and just getting worse. So I was like, you know, all of that can get taken away so fast. So before that happens, I wanted to make sure I make the changes, and it completely changed everything. Man, I'm happy to spend time with my wife, with my daughter. I'm happy to go to meetings. I want to meet people. And for me, it's like, now it's a lifestyle. It's not just, oh, I did this because that's the biggest difference. Before it was just work for a result. Now it's just my lifestyle. And I realized like how behind I am still, but I love it because it's a new journey for me. It's something new. You know, the problem was like, I think in life you have to, if you keep doing the same thing and you keep going, you will get burnt out eventually. So for me, it's like something new. So I have no excuses to not do it, you know? Now it's like I started completely fresh. So for the next 30 years of my life, I can spend, you know, taking care of myself.
By the way, we work in one of the hardest surround guys who, как сказать, типа мы работаем в окружении людей, которые находятся в отличной форме в любом случае.
Like the surroundings and the people around us, they're usually in the best shape. Or no, of course.
True.
I mean, we have guys like I don't know. I have guys like Vlad, Nick, Hamzat, all these athletes that are all top, and it's like I work with them, and why can't I be like that? I mean, I don't have to be a UFC champion. I don't have to be a motivational speaker, but I can just be myself and the best version of myself, and that's what I'm after.
Exactly. You keep to take peptides all on this journey, yeah?
Yeah. So this is actually...
You didn't take any pause on your peptides journey, yeah?
Yeah, so actually the peptide journey was a crazy one because it simultaneously went along with my health. You know, when I started peptides, the biggest thing was the fact that I was so behind that I kind of was looking for any small thing to kind of push me a little bit, you know, and to give me a little bit of a boost. Mindset-wise, it's okay, but you know, when your body is so behind, sometimes you just need to give it a little bit of that extra, you know? And in the beginning, when you start exploring all different stuff, because for me, the injury was my introduction to peptides. And obviously it helped. So I was like right away, okay, some of the stuff works, let's try. And then it's like candy. You start, there's one for this. Then there's one, you lose fat. This one is for recovery. This one is for your immune system. And you're like, okay, and I want to try everything.
Yeah.
I was at a point where I was injecting, I don't know, 8 different peptides, 8 pens every morning, you know?
Yeah.
Imagine how messed up that is and how bad it is for your body.
Yeah.
But I thought I was becoming the ultimate human, you know?
Yeah.
And, or superhuman, whatever you want to say. And for me, it was actually a very big learning journey because, man, I had a couple of bad reactions also. You know, there was times where I took a little bit more than I should have of some peptides, you know, and I had like a histamine reaction where I was almost in the hospital, you know. I had an allergic reaction also to one peptide. So you have to be super careful, you know, even though people say that it's safe, it is if done right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you don't and it's unregulated, you can fall into some big issues. And for me, the first 6 months was more of like trying everything, you know.
Yeah.
I was training, I was working on everything. It was like I'm finding out about myself.
Yeah.
So everything, it doesn't matter fitness or peptides or anything I was doing. It was more of just exploring who I am. What am I doing, you know, because I came from absolute shit, you know.
Yeah.
So and then I started learning about it more, started watching podcasts, you know. Then I had a mentor also. I have a couple of people that are some of the top guys in this industry. And man, they started teaching me and explaining, and I started realizing I was doing it wrong. So I started, like you said, taking little breaks, you know,
Yeah.
and then you focus on specific ones. Like you have a cycle, I don't know, you have an injury, you focus on that. Next cycle, if you want to focus on recovery or whatever, or you want to lose even a little bit of fat, because the big stigma today, this is also an issue because earlier today I had this conversation with somebody, man. Now, for example, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, even 5 years ago,
Yep.
if, for example, me now, I was 118 kilos and then I got to 94, people be like, yeah, that's amazing. Now, bro,
Yep.
90% of people are like, oh, what peptides did you use? What did you inject, you know? And I'm just like, whatever I injected was after. I had to get my mind right. I had to train. I had to eat clean. You know, I had to be super disciplined. And then the peptides is something that came after and that helped boost me a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you don't do all those things, what is that going to help you with, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like you have a car that's super fast and you want to add a little bit of horsepower.
Yeah.
How can you add horsepower if you have no car that's fast?
Yeah.
So that's why for me, I kind of looked at it like that. And it's sad because I really work hard this year and I'm continuously working hard. And still every day I have people, oh, what do you inject? What do you inject? You look fresh, you look young. That's what happens when you actually dedicate your time and you work, you know? And I'm not going to take away the fact that it helped a lot.
Yeah.
Bro, it's unbelievable. It's some of the best stuff if done right. But at the same time, you need to have a big foundation before you can introduce peptides and, you know, do all that stuff. Now everyone thinks that, oh, it's just a shortcut. It's not. It's just something that can enhance your life a little bit, you know?
Yeah. Peptides is just part of this journey.
Small part.
Yeah, small part. Yeah. I guess the first step, it's only from your mind. And after that, you can do other steps.
The most important.
Next steps, yeah.
The most important.
Yeah.
Mindset for me now, if you ask me, like, I forgot about my body. I'm not working on my body. I don't care about my body anymore. Now, every day for me is a constant, not a struggle. It's a constant work with my mindset. Because, for example, anything, doesn't matter whether I do cold plunge, I want to stay in the sauna longer, or I make my sessions to train at 7 or 8 in the morning, you know?
Yeah.
I try to now put myself in as much uncomfortable situations as possible because I believe that only through this I'll be able to grow.
Yeah.
I know myself as a person, right?
Yeah.
I know where I screwed up in my life a lot, and I realize where I need to work on myself. And physically, I was always training, you know? I'm working with some of the best guys in the world.
Yeah.
But my mindset was the one that kind of disappointed me a lot of times. And that's what I'm working on now.
So, what is your next step in your physical transformation? Are you want, for example, make 6 packs or something like this, or what else you want change in your body?
Yeah, I mean, even now, like all this results, you know, sometimes people keep saying, oh, you keep losing weight. For me, no, I'm eating super clean as I can. I cut out all the garbage, all the stuff, and now I'm obsessed. My thing is like, I don't have a balance. I don't have a middle. Either I'm obsessed of eating or I'm obsessed with being healthy, you know? I don't have a middle ground. So that's why for me, even sometimes along this journey was so difficult because many times you're going to different meetings, you're going to different people's houses. Everyone's always offering you food. A lot of times it's not healthy. You know, how many events I was at right in front of me, and God has a good way to test you. And this really tested my discipline. So for me, this is my one key word throughout my transformation. So basically now that I got myself at that zero, now I can build on my body. I definitely want to build a little bit more muscle. You know, I want to feel better. I think that having more muscle mass is definitely going to help you live a longer life, being healthier. So now I'm looking more on a longevity standpoint,
Yep.
you know, because I'm 32 years old now, and I realize, okay, maybe I'll be coaching for a few more years, but I definitely want to be the best version of myself.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe because I made these changes, maybe I will work longer.
Yeah.
And I believe that also who you are and how you act, your energy, it will also attract that kind of energy. So
Yep.
the way that I was before, of course I'm going to attract negative energy if you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're not happy with
Yep.
what you see. But now when I wake up in the morning, I'm happy to wake up. I look at my daughter, I look at my wife, and I get to work, you know, and I know that every day from A to Z, I have to do as much as possible, and it's the only way. I mean, we're responsible for that, you know. This is something I did.
Yeah.
The first year it was hard to adjust to it, but now I realize I was like, okay, wake up, you know, push it into
Yeah.
gear, and we have to work, you know.
For me, one of the biggest example how somebody can transformation himself, it's David Goggins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy's crazy. I listen to him a
Yeah.
lot, you know.
Yeah.
But see, like guys like that, you know, this is my point. That, for example, like there's different people.
Sorry, yeah, I'm just at one moment. I saw the video when David Goggins and Israel Adesanya trained together.
He killed him.
Yes.
Of course, bro. You know why? Because like I realized one thing, that there's a big there's a big difference. For example, mindset. A lot of people. I'm around MMA. I'm around combat sports. Everyone always has this idea that all the fighters, they are the strongest guys mentally and all this stuff, but people don't understand. Every person, every individual is different. I've worked with so many guys in the locker room, around fight week, during camp. Everyone is so different. Everyone acts different. Everyone looks at the fight differently, you know. Depending on how they look at that is the way that they will structure their mindset around the fight, you know. So for example, a guy like Israel Adesanya, he can go into the fight, he can knock out Pereira or whatever, but
Yep.
a guy like David Goggins, maybe he can't do that. But when it comes to pushing yourself outside, going to run, I don't know, 120 miles,
Yeah.
it's a different mindset, you know? This is where you're, I think that, not psychotic, but like, it's a very, very small amount of people that can push themselves to that kind of point. And I think that the biggest thing for me, actually, from my experience,
Yeah.
and I believe that David Goggins also has something like that. I think that when you go through a lifetime of trauma,
Yep.
and you have all kinds of different issues, and you have a lot of pain inside, I think when you find yourself, I think that you're just a different person, you know? And the energy that you use, how obsessed you become, I think that's where I'm going towards. That's what I want to work towards more, because as a lot of things like change in the world, I want to at least keep this, you know? This is
Yep.
like my little bubble, and the healthier that I am, the healthier I can keep my family, the healthier I can motivate the people around me, you know? And I believe that you kind of create a domino effect, because even it's your friends or your family, it could be my father, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Someone will still look at you and say that, okay, you maybe inspire them in some small way. And for me to hear that from my father, or to hear that from friends, or even fighters now, it's like, I was on a complete opposite, you know, a year ago. So it's kind of weird that a small, short period of time, but how much you had to work in that period of time, you know? But David Goggins, he's one in a billion for me, you
Yep.
know? I think that approach is very hard to teach upon people, you know? I think that's just something that you find along the way. You found it, you kind of grab it, you have it, but I believe that most people don't find a mindset like that, you know? Crazy. It's crazy because, I mean, look how much money as business he can make, you know? How many people look up to him, how many people even look and watch the videos. But for me, that's the thing. Like before, this was also my biggest issue. So guys like David Goggins, they motivate you. But the problem is that this is where it creates a problem for you, because you listen to a David Goggins video.
Yep.
Oh yeah, let's go. You go run. And then the next day you go back to eating cheeseburgers. You understand what I mean? So just that video, it's not enough. But what David Goggins has,
Yep.
it's not motivation, it's drive, you know, in his mind.
Yep.
And that's why you can't break this guy. And I think that when you're like this, physically and mentally, how about business? How about all other aspects of life, family? I think that when you use that for everything, you will have the best quality lifestyle, you know?
Yep.
You know, for me also, like, one of the most interesting things is that how many people started to be more attracted to me, thank God, because of just my energy more, you know?
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not that I didn't have the energy before. It's that it's not that I didn't have that in my head. It's that I just couldn't
Yep.
give it, you know? When you're just down and depressed, whatever you want to call it, you know? You're kind of in this weird bubble, you know? I was lost, you know? I think we're all lost anyway. Just, it's better to be lost with a clear mind, you know? Because then at least you can see your way. Man, everything was so foggy before. It's just, and it creates like a wall in your life for everything.
Yep.
And you know, you start acting like an asshole to your partner.
Yep.
You start being not nice to your friends, you know? It's not that you want to be bad. It's just, you're not happy with yourself, you know?
Yep.
So that's why, how can you be, you know, how can you communicate properly? So,
Я хочу сейчас зачитать цитату.
yeah.
Сейчас я найду ее. Ну, типа, вот, прочитай, она охуенно звучит, эта цитата.
No man has the right to be an amateur in the matter of physical training. It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable.
Сократ.
Socrates.
Great, yeah? Great quote.
Yeah, and it's
I agree on 100%.
it's a very deep quote, you know, and this actually is a very, very important point that I can respond to. That is the fact that I fell into this category also. If you look at, I don't know, 30, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, the capabilities of men were much more than what it is today. If you look at the testosterone of men, what men are doing, you know, the jobs they're doing, how they're acting, things changed quite a lot, right? And sometimes it's difficult to maybe use some of these quotes for today's world because we live in a very different world. But I got to say that for myself, that's the actual biggest beauty of my journey, is the fact that I don't know my capabilities. I've never been in this position, you know? So it's so hard to even think what you can do. And that's the beautiful part. That's why I want to try different stuff. I want to go horse riding, learn how to ride a horse. I want to go swimming. I want to go do wrestling, you know? And now I have all this energy to do all these new things. And this is how you learn. This is how you grow. This is how you stay with a young mind, you know, if you consistently try to challenge yourself. So I think that I'll definitely find out my capabilities, but I believe that this is actually one of the most beautiful things because as men, we were always meant to move. We were supposed to move, find land, bring something to the table, you know? Now people are not thinking about that. So for me, I think the opportunities could be endless. The capabilities could be endless. So now one day at a time, we're going to find out the capabilities. That's why I'm trying to challenge myself every day, every single thing. And the biggest thing for me, honestly, when you ask me what's the reason, I can go and just say, oh, it's my daughter. But in reality, I realized one very big thing. When I was growing up, you know, your parents, they always tell you, do something, do this, do that, right? Great. But if you're a child and you look at your parents and you say, well, why is my father or my mother or your brother saying one thing, but doing another thing? Is that thing they're saying to do the right thing? So technically, lead by example. So I realized that for my daughter, for my wife, for my family, I want to be that example. I want them to say, that's my hero. He gets up every morning, he works, he comes home. He's still, no matter what, no matter how tired he is, he shows up, he spends time with the baby, you know, he's a father, he's a husband. All these things, this is the most important thing for me. I realized in this life, this is the first thing for me. And when I start working about these things, I just want my daughter to wake up, say, Papa, and look, see that every day I give 100%, and this is how you improve. And then she will know in her head, regardless of whatever world we're living in, that she needs to constantly work on this. And then one day she can be a parent, you know? But this is how you set up the next generation. Otherwise, if you just tell people do this, do that, it doesn't work, you know? You need to show. So if you're the leader of an army, you need to show why you're the leader. If you don't have that energy, how can you be a leader, you know? So.
Это знаешь, как передавать огонь следующему поколению, да?
But if you are not the person that has the fire, how can you pass the torch, right?
Exactly.
And that's why nobody will listen to you. And then I realized also that's where I made mistakes because, I mean, I don't blame my father or anyone, you know, he had his life and it's difficult, but I'm saying that maybe sometimes if I saw him doing some things, maybe go to the gym or some stuff with business, then maybe I would be more attracted to those things. But in reality, I've never saw my dad go to the gym. So then for me, it was whatever, you know? So that's why, and it took me quite long to realize that, but it's okay because I believe in God's plan.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for the timing, you know?
So, Steve, on this time, when you get the huge changes in your body, I guess you change also your meals habits.
Yeah.
What exactly you did for this?
Yeah, man, that was actually one of the craziest things for me because my biggest problem is I'm an emotional eater. Any kind of issue, I come home, I start eating. This is what makes me feel good. And the problem is there's a lot of eating at night. There's a lot of eating right before you sleep, right when you wake up. And it's the choice of food also, not just the timing. So for me, the biggest thing was cutting soda out completely, cutting out all kinds of sugar, candies, all the stuff, cakes. And I got to say that for the first 6-7 months, I would say that I probably cut out most of my heavy carbs, you know? And that's why in the beginning, you start losing weight fast. But then you hit a plateau, you know? Because your body is still... In the beginning, it's quite easy. Weight comes off when you get rid of carbs and you stop sugar. Your body starts burning much faster, especially if you're training. So for me, honestly, I realized like, I always start resorting to this. Any kind of issue, I always think like, what did people do before? What did people do back in the days, you know? Why were they so strong? Why was their testosterone bigger? And people always tell me, oh yeah, but they lived less. Great. But while they lived, whether it was until 30 or 25 or until 40, these guys were working, they were hustling, no one complained, everyone was going forward, you know? No one was sitting with low testosterone at 30 years old, for example. Even myself, I did a test, it was about like 9 months ago. And that also was a wake-up call for me because, man, my testosterone was so low. And I'm just like, how did I even have a child with this kind of testosterone, you know? A lot of other things also, and a lot of markers that were quite affected. So that's why I realized, like, you need to work on this stuff. Because if you don't, it's only going to go more and more downhill. What was the last thing, то, что спросил тоже? Вообще вот этот вопрос был...
Еда. Как
ты,
how you fixed your
I got
meal?
You. Yeah, so for me, the biggest thing was that I realized that it's not about the food. It's about me. The food is something that helps me survive, live. Before, it's like, the problem is now you wake up in the morning, you have breakfast, you're already talking to your friends, what are we gonna have for lunch? You sit down, you have lunch, you're already texting with your girlfriend or wife, what are you gonna have when you come home? Then there's this, then there's that, and next thing you know, you're having 5-6 meals a day. I mean, it's not necessary, in my opinion. You're spending half the day just thinking and spending so much energy focusing on food. Don't get me wrong, if you're bodybuilding or you have some maybe specific goals, maybe that is the way. But I'm saying that overall for life, we don't need 4 or 5 meals a day. What people before, where did they or when did they ever eat that many meals? People used to hunt, eat once in a week. And they would eat more bigger meals because they knew that they didn't know when was the next meal. So no one was thinking about, oh, I need 4 or 5 meals a day every 2 hours. I need all this stuff. So I let that go. That was my first step, you know, aside from cutting out the sugar, all the heavy stuff, eating at night. So my things kind of happened very fast, but it was like a mindset switch. And I said, okay, this is how it's going to be. And you have to get used to it, you know, because this is the only way. No other way worked before. Anything I tried before, all these diets, you lose, you gain. This was more for the long term. So I realized that I need to instill this into my lifestyle. This is my... and I try to also keep it more interesting. Like, I don't eat the same stuff. If you focus on only eating the same stuff, you will get tired, you know? So I just say, like, what did people need? What's natural? Vegetables, meats, fish, you know? Little things, nuts, and that's it. Just keep it simple, you know?
Now you need from your meals only energy, not it's like enjoying meals. It's only for energy. Yeah,
because for me, actually, this is it's a good question because I had a very crazy relationship with food. And for me, I kind of had to break up that relationship. We're in a little bit of a divorce now, you know? Because for me, I was always loving to eat all this fast food, pizza, and I mean, I still think about it sometimes. I see other people eating it, but in reality, I always think like, okay, so if I eat that, I might have a good feeling for a little bit, but then I have to work harder, you know, I have to go and train, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm like, is it worth it? Maybe once in a while it's okay. But I have a thing now, for example, if I eat something that even is a little bit unhealthy, I have to go train right away. I have to go walk right away. So at least I compensate for what I did, you know? And this is what I instilled in my mind.
Да, то есть point в том, то, что типа сейчас ты используешь еду
Yeah, very good.
только как топливо,
Exactly.
но не как для наслаждения.
Exactly.
Да.
So this was the biggest issue also for me because I still love food.
Yeah.
And all this journey and mindset changes actually kind of, it killed my relationship with food because there's certain things, for example, there's nothing wrong with going to dinner and trying something, having a piece of cake. But for me, I don't, you know? And I will be sitting with people, they will say why, but I'm just very disciplined in this aspect for myself. This is my own choice, you know?
Yeah.
Other people, you can let yourself go. But for me, when I look back at my life and I realize that for 25 years, I never said no,
Yeah.
I think I can afford to say no now, you know? So for me, food is fuel, right?
Yeah.
And I treat myself like a vehicle, like a machine,
Yeah.
right? For example, if today I didn't train, I sat on my ass all day, well, you shouldn't eat 3,000 calories. But for example, if I went on a hike, and then I went horse riding, and then I went here and I ran, okay, it's fine if you eat a little bit more calories. So you kind of go based on the day. So
Yeah.
that's where I realized none of my days are the same. I don't have like, I need to do this, I need to do that. It all depends on my mode, how I feel, you know?
Yeah.
Some days maybe I'll have breakfast, some days I don't, you know? But I don't make it so like, oh, it needs to be like this, like that, because where and when in the world, it was never like that.
Yeah.
Where is it structured, you know?
But you never calculate your calories. Yeah.
Never believe in calculating calories, never believe in macros, micros, but also all of this stuff is new to me. So it's not something that I'm a genius in, you know? I'm still learning, but I've been long enough around failure
Yeah.
to know that I can succeed in it, you know? So that's why in this moment, it's more about just the feeling. I swear. It's just feeling, trying, a lot of trial and error, and I found myself, you know? I found that balance between what I need and I treat my body like a machine. So for example, you have a car, you have to do the oil change, right?
Yeah.
You have to change the tires sometimes. And I do that as well. You have to take care of your body, you know, and actually this brings us to a very, very important point. When I was 118 kilograms, if I tell you how many injuries I had,
Yeah.
my back, my knees, you know, everything, I couldn't sleep. Really, I couldn't sleep. I was on painkillers. Painkillers. I was taking tramadol here
Yeah.
because some nights I couldn't even sleep, my lower back, everything. Skin conditions,
Yeah.
no sleep. And you know, overall, your lifestyle is just down. And now I feel so much better. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still have injuries,
Yeah.
but I can deal with them more. Imagine 24 kilos lighter. It's crazy, man, you know, and I'm still working on it. And I'm not on now I don't want to lose any more weight. I'm not really thinking about it. I kind of let my body just go where it naturally is supposed to go.
Yeah.
Even when I started all of this, I didn't have any goals that I need to lose 25 kilos. I just said, I want to get healthy. I want to be an example for my daughter. And I need to change myself.
Yeah,
because
it's not about how much you weigh. It's about how feel you. Yeah.
how I feel exactly every day. And for me, it's like, just work, take care of yourself, and your body will naturally fall into where it's supposed to be. That's it. If it's going to take a year, if it's going to take 2 years, whatever. For me, I'm not going to stop. So this is something that I'm going to work on every day. So
Yeah.
And it's okay for me because I know if I take 2 days off, 3 days off, if I go on a vacation for 5 days, and let's say I don't train, which usually doesn't happen now because anywhere I travel, I need to move, I need to do something. You saw me in the airport. It doesn't matter where I am
Yeah.
now. In my mind, it's kind of fucked a little bit. It's weird because in weird situations, I still want to do something, you know?
Yeah.
Because I realize like how much I'm behind from before.
Yeah.
And not that I want to make up for it, but I'm like, yo, get to work, do this extra, you know? For example, if I need to wait for an hour, instead of sitting on my phone, if I do 150 push-ups,
Yeah.
it's better, right? So I kind of look at life like that, not just fitness-wise, but everything. And it's crazy how much I wanted this for so long, but I wanted it so much that I fucking failed every time.
Yeah.
And now that I didn't really want it like that, but I just said, listen, you just need to do this. Forget about the numbers. Forget about all this other stuff that you're trying to go like this.
Yeah.
Just relax, you know, and treat it like you just want to get healthy, you know. You want to take care of yourself step by step. Don't rush, you know. Don't make any crazy changes.
Yeah.
And we're here now 1 year later, man. You know, I feel so much better.
Yeah, it's great result. Maybe time has come to try Anatoly Fitness Challenge.
Maybe it's time to fucking make a Jaguar fit, my own challenge. And it's crazy because this is also quite important because this is a big field, right?
Yep.
Like I'm working with fighters, but even now that I'm going to be working on creating experiences for people, it's something that I've thought about before, but it was so important for me to go through this journey before I'm ready for that. Because how am I supposed to tell people about experiences if I was the way I was before?
Yeah.
How can I promote that? Does that look good on a poster? No. Is that someone that people want to go and learn from? Is that who's going to motivate people? Believe it or not, I actually motivated a lot of people.
Yeah.
Just because, I was how I was and I was doing what I was doing. And it's very unrealistic from people's eyes that I can do what I did being the way I was. So imagine what I can do in the world now that I'm much better. I don't know yet, you know. So when we talk about those capabilities, we will see. But I definitely want to challenge myself in every aspect of life, you know.
Yep. Steve, recently our team have a good trip in Kyrgyzstan. What is your best experience in Kyrgyzstan?
Man, Kyrgyzstan was an interesting place. You know, for me, I don't have much experience in this region. I think I've been in Azerbaijan before. Georgia was great, where I actually went to the mountains. But Kyrgyzstan is a very interesting place because of the nomad lifestyle. You know, when you look at their history, how they were, how they are, the food they eat, how they live, it's very interesting from the side. And I always worked with, I had some guys that are from Kyrgyzstan, fighters that I worked with before. And of course, you see photos, pictures. Valentina Shevchenko, who is a legend. How she represents the country. And it was always a unique place and a place of interest for me to go to. And then when it came the opportunity for us to go as a team, I think it was probably one of the best experiences. One, because of the people that were around. Just a team building experience, you know? To go to a place like that, that's wild, that's filled with nature and something new, culture. I think this is something that, I don't know, for me, traveling is how you grow as a person.
They have literally like a virgin nature. It's very, very virgin nature.
And quite not new, but it's something that still people are learning more about, you know. Maybe Kyrgyzstan wasn't the most, I would say, popular place for people to visit, but that's because they don't know, right? Now that more people will start to know, then more people will start to go there. But for me, the experience, I would say, probably would be when we went horse riding. Because horse riding is something that I deeply love. I was always dreaming and wishing to be able to ride a horse. It was always my dream to be a warrior on a horse with a sword, you know. And I started years back before I went downhill with my weight. I was taking lessons, horse riding. And when I started going downhill, I stopped, you know. And I only took a few lessons, so I never really learned how to ride a horse. And this brought back these emotions, you know, this fear of falling down, the adrenaline, you know, and just looking at everything and no worries, no cell phones. It was this moment of peace that I didn't have, and I don't think I've ever had that, you know? And when I just looked around, it was us and a few people that were from Kyrgyzstan, local people. I saw a kid that maybe is 8, 9 years old, the way he was riding a horse, the way he was controlling a herd of horses, you know? And I'm just like, wow, these people really live different. And I'm like, we are so behind, you know? And these kids are very strong and they can survive in these kind of situations. But the culture, the food, I'm a person that loves to explore new things, you know? And this is just one of those things, so you can mark that off on the globe. But I would say that definitely I will come back to Kyrgyzstan. I think that it could be a potential place of doing business. But for me, I think that, it was the amazing people that hosted us there. It was the team, us around. The team building experience. And man, I just think that I needed that at this moment. When I'm like, I overcame this period, this energy, it's my first experience like this in my new form, let's say, you know.
I was very impressed, the hospitality. The people from Kyrgyzstan, very, very kind, very open.
Of course. And that's actually this is not something that needs to go up, but like, for example, I just was in Poland, you know. I don't want to say anything bad, but when you go to different countries, like people
Yeah.
greet you different. But then I start wondering, I'm like, why sometimes like certain country might not have
Yeah.
stuff and they will open their doors more to you
Yeah.
rather than a country that has a lot of stuff and people live much better in bigger conditions
Yeah,
and
yeah,
better
yeah.
conditions. They make more money and they can still, treat you different, act different. To me, it's an interesting thing that you learn in life,
Yeah, yeah.
And these people are,
I felt they like a big family. All country like big family.
of course, because you realize, listen, this country has its history, right? And if you look at from all sides, from Russia, it wasn't easy for them as well, because they're like Native American, like how Native Americans are in America. That's how they are to this region. And this region, they were trying to control them, right? And they did control them for a while.
Yep.
Now that they're their own people and they're still keeping their culture and they still want their kids to act a certain way and they don't want to lose it.
Yep.
It's very unique because in the world, if you calculate, there's not many places or big societies that have that still, So
Yep.
I think it's unique, It's nice to escape and kind of have this feeling because we're moving so fast with AI, with technology. But you go to a place like that and you go where we went on the horses and you realize none of that has any meaning. In that moment, we didn't need any of that,
Yep.
We just needed us. And this is how people used to live back in the days,
I was very funny when we come to gym. Local gym, very small gym, very usual gym. When we coming with Vova
Yeah.
in here, the gym was empty, and after 30 minutes, maybe 15 or 20 people
Of course.
coming from make photo,
Yeah.
video.
Everyone started messaging
with
each other,
Vova, with all of us. Yeah, it was amazing.
Well, this is the thing, because like we live in UAE, right?
Yeah.
We live in Dubai. People are coming from all over the world. Some of the richest people are here. Everything is so prestigious. Everything has to be perfect. But then you went to this small gym in the middle of nowhere, and you have a owner of a gym that, for him, it's a community thing.
Yep.
He wants to gather people from the village to create a space for people to connect, just for people to grow. But they don't have these visions of, we want to build this crazy business. I want to make all this money. And I mean, sometimes you're like, this is how people were, this is how they are. Their mindset is a little bit different and it's unique because we don't see people like that here.
Yep.
So even just speaking to this gym owner and man, I spoke to some of the guys there. There's some guys that are very high level in combat sports and I'm asking them and they're telling me, yeah, but for us, sport is not a way of money. It's just something that we train a little bit and that's it. And I'm just like, wow. Because for me, I mean, sport is sport, but for me, it was always like, I need to make something out of it. I don't want to waste my time. And I realized like, wow, these people train for 30 years, for 40 years, and they keep training, but they didn't think about money or making a living off it. It's just a hobby for them.
Yeah, just for fun. Yeah.
And these people are happy, man, really, genuinely happy. I looked and I spoke to these guys. They're smiling and their family is happy with the most simple, small things. So yeah, it kind of humbles you and reminds you of where there is different places in the world and not everything is about money and everything being beautiful and stuff, It's super important, but it's nice to somehow ground yourself and be around this kind of surrounding,
Also, we had great experience in horse riding.
Yeah.
Have you been before in horse riding trip or no?
No, never trips. I took a few lessons here, but it was more in a smaller area. And obviously, I'm not comfortable enough. But in Kyrgyzstan, it doesn't matter. They don't really ask you any questions if you're okay, if you're qualified. They just put me on a horse. They said, go. And I didn't even know how to turn the horse, man, But there's fun in that as well. There's a little bit of an adrenaline rush because it's the fear of the unknown, right? So you don't know. And honestly, I realized one thing in life, no matter what you do, any field, any activity, in the beginning, it will be a little bit difficult, but eventually, no matter what, you will always find a way, I believe. As you get a little comfortable, it doesn't matter. You just got to give it a little time and you start feeling much better. And by the end of the trip, I was like, man, I'm starting to feel the horse. And when I came back here, now I'm going to start taking lessons again, It gave me that energy again. Because the next time I come back to Kyrgyzstan, I want to get a horse and you're going to see me flying down the mountains, or up the mountains.
Cool.
Yeah.
Steve, have you got new ideas on your business? doing something new in your deals?
Yeah, of course. I think that, for example, combat sports is a very niche industry, right? So obviously you can focus on the combat sports part, but in general, it all revolves around fitness, correct? The fact that I was never fit, I can never incorporate that aspect, right? But now that I'm more fit and I'm getting much better, I think that I can expand more in the field of not business, but fitness, you know?
Yeah.
And then use fitness as a business, right?
Yeah.
So for me in my life, it was always give, give, give.
Yeah.
I'm not the person that takes, you know? But I realize also in life, you have to. And if you just give, give, give nonstop and you don't take, how are you going to build? So when I look at my family, what I want to build as a business, I think that everything kind of came together at the right time, right? I got myself in shape. I still have to work on a lot. Maybe my peptide journey, which is my journey to longevity, to making myself feel better, right?
Yeah.
Be a better version of myself as well, helps with the boost. All these little things kind of push me towards the fitness industry, right?
Yeah.
So whether it's the experiences that I want to do for people, or possibly, hopefully in the near future, we'll be opening up gyms to inspire people, to push people to train more, to create this community, right?
Yeah.
So when I look at it, I'm like, why can't I be like that? Because I look at so many trainers here that have programs and stuff, and they're more special than me, you know? I have so much experience working with some of the top athletes in the world. So I believe that even as a business, I think fitness, I wouldn't even say fitness, I think wellness.
Yeah.
Wellness, health, longevity, this is my life. So I'm still finding my grounding. I'm still looking at where I can go, what I can incorporate new. But I believe that this is my life. I believe that from now on, this is what I'm going to be focusing my energy on, is the wellness and health.
О, вот вопрос интересный.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Steve.
If you smell what the rock is. Yeah.
What the rock is cooking.
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah.
What kind of supplements you use now except peptides?
So for supplements, actually, it's a good one because when I did my blood test, it was Coach Cal in California. And he told me, he said, man, you don't look good. Your face is inflamed. And he recommended me to get a blood test to check all my markers, my liver function, everything.
Yeah.
My testosterone was super low. I have other markers that really, really were affecting me. And he recommended me to take some supplements because I like that actually about him, that he didn't say, oh, go take testosterone right away, go inject this, that. He said, let's try naturally. And I found, for example, I take zinc, horny goat weed. What else? There's a few things that I take that helps a lot your testosterone, your libido. So for me, for example, that was the main focus initially, was to work on my libido, because for a man, it's so important, right? So work on my testosterone production. That's why I was doing things like cold plunge and working on supplements. But at the moment, I'm actually not taking any supplements. So I did, for example, 3-4 months where I was taking a bunch of multivitamins. Even, they also make powdered form of like liver or organ meat. They make it into a pill form. So things like that. Anything that you possibly could use to create a little bit of extra push for your testosterone, I tried everything. And maybe it's not perfect, but I do believe that I definitely improved a lot. And actually, I'm supposed to be doing a blood test very soon, and then we'll see how much it improved. In terms of supplements, I think I'll probably go back to maybe taking some kind of multivitamin, zinc, magnesium, simple things, simple things just to make sure your levels are good and your recovery is good. And also, for me, one of the most important things is electrolytes. I think electrolytes, this is something that I was very heavily affected with before, is, man, when I was 118 kilos, I always felt cloudy, no energy, lethargic, I couldn't even get up, man. I would walk 2 minutes, I'm tired. And I never really thought about that. I never thought about minerals and electrolytes and all this stuff, how important it is, especially with the climate that we live in. So, simple things. Not anything complex or creatine or protein, even though maybe I should incorporate it little by little. I think now I'll do a little bit more research, but I try to get all my energy from natural food.
Yeah.
you know?
You don't use creatine, for example, yeah?
Which I think
Because
creatine
this
is good.
is one of the most popular
It is.
supplements. Yeah.
And now they're saying for your brain more than for the muscles, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, for me now, actually, yeah, maybe something like that I can incorporate, you know? And yeah, it's the most basic stuff. I wouldn't want to do too much.
Yeah.
And I also think that a lot of the products are not good. And if I was to use supplements, I would make sure that it's third-party tested and I'm getting supplements specifically made for me. So for example, you do a blood test,
Yep.
they look at what's missing, and they specifically formulate the supplements based on what you need. Because also, when you take all these vitamins, you don't know, do you need it or no?
Yeah.
Half of the stuff or more you take, and then you go into the bathroom and you piss it out, and then what? It's a waste of your money, you know?
Yep.
Or maybe it'll make it worse for your body because
Yeah.
you already have a certain amount, and it will make it more. So that's not good for your body, you know?
So, what do you think about sauna? My point is, some people thought about sauna give you huge benefits, but I guess maybe sauna it's more just like enjoy it, like for fun. But for example, what do you think about sauna? It's give you real benefits, or it's like for enjoying?
Yeah, I think sauna is probably one of the best things that you can do for recovery. But if you do it properly, you know,
Yeah.
it depends on how you use it, how often. I think that you shouldn't overdo it.
Yeah.
This is the big problem that people do is you can't just go to the sauna every day. I think that if you use it, for example, what I realized before,
Yeah.
if I would train, I would go do ice bath right away. Now I realize I have better results
Yeah.
if I don't do ice bath, but I do sauna, for example, after a workout.
Yeah.
I feel much better. And then ice bath, you can just do either another time,
Yeah.
or you can do sauna, for example, after. I mean, you can do ice bath after the sauna, for example.
Yeah.
But if you do ice bath right after, for example, some workout, there's studies coming out now saying that actually it's going to make your results go down. So this is where more of a push is coming for the sauna.
Yeah.
Well, I think sauna is good for just overall, if you're having some kind of injuries or you have tightness in your body, it helps me a lot sometimes
Yeah.
just to relax. For the mind, because you put your phone away, you're sitting, I think it's just like a moment of peace as well. It's like meditation also, you know?
Yeah.
And what do? You do, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. There is a aspect of it that you enjoy, but I think it's probably one of the best things. Plus you're sweating. So technically you're putting your body in a state of burning, right?
Yeah,
So
yes.
when you come out for the rest of the day, you're burning calories also. So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
not a crazy amount, but a little bit, right? So
Yeah, the fighters used sauna like cut weight, but it's only for short time. It's not for completely change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
this is and that's another thing. Like for fighters, the sauna also, a lot of people don't know, but the sauna is also the way you do it. It's so important. For example, there's certain ways to do a sauna. You know, you should be level on one. Your whole body should be on one level, right?
Yeah.
But most of the time, it's not because you're sitting. Yeah. So, for example, your legs
Yeah.
have one temperature.
Yeah.
Your midsection has one temperature, and your head has the highest temperature.
Yeah.
So you have a disbalance in your body. So this is also a little bit dangerous. It's not so good, you know.
Yep.
You have to be careful in the sauna because all this pressure on your head is also not good. So you have to know how to utilize it properly. So actually, the right way to use a sauna,
Yeah.
either you lay down or at least your level. You have to be on one level, you know.
Yeah.
So
Just
that
keep you one level.
yeah. So most
Yeah.
likely it's best to lay down, you know. So that's why all these little things, once you tweak it up, you get more benefits from them,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, but overall, I think if you're going once a month or whatever and you enjoy, it's a cleanse also, detox, you know.
Yeah.
You sweat, you get out some bad toxins, you know. So
Yeah.
there's so many benefits. As you keep speaking about it, you realize there's more and more, right? Obviously, there's a wall
Yeah.
where you realize there's no more benefits, but I mean, what do we have now? Like red light therapy, we have cold plunge, we have sauna, you
Yeah.
have they have this thing called also flotation tank. I don't know if you ever heard about that. You basically go into a big tank.
Yeah.
You lay down. The water is like body temperature.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of salt. So basically, when you lay down, you're basically floating.
Oh.
And what happens is, after a little bit of time,
Yeah.
your body adjusts, like your body and the water
Yeah.
adjusts to one temperature, and you feel like you're just flying.
Oh.
So a lot of people use this for meditation. Guys like Joe Rogan even use mushrooms and go into that.
Oh wow!
For
I didn't hear about
it's
it.
man, it's like a pod.
Yeah.
And you go inside. It's dark, and you just see. It's literally no light.
Yeah,
so
wow.
you're going. You kind of lay down,
Wow.
and I mean it's for your mind because you start thinking. You
Yeah,
see
yeah.
darkness. You're floating. You start thinking a lot, and this is like one of the best forms of meditation.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
also really good for recovery. So because of the salt.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you have some cuts, you have some injuries, it also helps with that as well. You know. So
What kind of recovery stuff you won't try? You didn't try before.
yeah, I'm still actually looking into stuff like that as I'm going more deep into the longevity and wellness stuff. But there's certain, I don't know about recovery stuff, but there's certain procedures that I would like to try. There's a thing called, I think it's called Ibu. I don't know if you heard about it.
What is it?
Yeah, so basically what they do is like, they basically connect like a bag with like a tube. They
Yeah.
take blood out.
Yeah.
Then they like oxidize your blood and then they put it back into your body.
yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But
I hear about it. Yeah.
But I heard that, for example, I've seen that they show you, based when they take out your blood and they filter it out, they show you how much heavy metals,
Yeah.
toxins you have in your blood, you know, things like that. So this is something very, very interesting. I think that I would like to do because I do believe that no matter how healthy you are, you still always have some kind of toxin, some kind of stuff in your body. You can't control everything.
Yeah.
But these little things, they make a difference, you know. Man, there's guys like, I think every small thing makes a difference. You know?
Yeah.
And I realized this as I started going to like mountain regions
Yeah.
and certain places in nature where people live, and you see how much stronger they are,
Yeah.
how much better quality their food is, their water is
Yeah.
from a natural source, you know, and then you wonder why is their testosterone where it is,
Yeah.
top of the world, right? Or why are they some of the best athletes, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I realized every single thing makes a difference. The water, details, you know.
Yeah. I saw Tapuria used bar camera. Do you know about bar camera?
No, what's that?
It's like a capsule.
Yeah.
And air inside, it's like a low air inside.
Like oxygen?
Yeah.
Okay. And he trains there?
He just lying in here.
Yeah. I saw this before. I was supposed to do this also. Hamzat was doing it. Armand does it. The guy, Coach Cal, the one that I...
But
he has it in his recovery
called,
center.
it's called bar camera, yes, right? Or
I'm not sure what it's called, but it was like a pod, like you said.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
lay there, something with the same thing, something with the oxygen. It's supposed to help with like blood cells or something like that. I'm not sure
Yeah.
exactly, but I know that this is probably... Coach Cal was very, very heavy on it. And I know that this was like one of the main recovery items, you know, for Arman, for Hamzat,
Yeah.
for a lot of athletes. So it's something that I would definitely love to look into. And man, there's always constantly new technology coming up, right? For example, like cryotherapy, right?
yeah.
Cryotherapy is great, but like I would take ice bath any day because cryotherapy is a dry cold.
Yeah,
It's
dry
great.
cold. Yeah.
But the wet cold hits different, you know?
It's different,
Much
yeah.
better, in my opinion, much better benefits.
Dry cold, it's more soft for your body. Yeah. You're not.
It's
feel-
easier. It's easier.
Yeah.
It's
easy.
easier for people to deal
You
with
not
it.
felt cold like in bath.
Yeah, but you see, like, what's easier won't give
Yeah.
you the benefits
Yeah.
as what's harder usually, you know. But for me, actually, there's one guy that's a huge inspiration. It's Wim Hof. Why I say him is because
Yeah,
this
he's
guy,
legend.
for me, defines... Like, when I look at David Goggins,
Yeah.
he's unbelievable. He's
Yeah.
1 in a billion for me. But when you look at Wim Hof and how this guy can deal with not just life situations that people are not supposed to survive,
Yeah.
and survive in those, you know, and help other people survive in those, that's crazy. One thing is when you can do it, but one thing is when you can use your influence to put people in those situations
Yep.
and then let them know that, oh, it's okay. Because I realize that in life,
Yep.
if some kind of situation happens, it doesn't matter, you're stuck in the ocean or you're in nature,
Yep.
once you start panicking, you're done, you know? And this is one thing that he constantly reminds you, and this is where his breathing methods and techniques, they help me so much. I utilize them a lot. So before I go ice bath, sometimes even just in the morning,
Yep.
before I have my breakfast,
Yep.
10, 15 minutes of Wim Hof's techniques, I swear you feel so much better. And it helps you with any situation. It doesn't matter, you're gonna go for a fight, you're gonna go before a business meeting,
Yeah.
and there's something special about this guy. And this for me was actually such big change because it helped me get in touch with myself. Because during those 10, 15 minutes, you find out a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
And you realize how difficult it is to breathe properly and how much it can help you as you continuously do it over and over. And that's where I realized that this guy is so special with how he manages to use some kind of situation where you're supposed to panic to overcome, make it calm, and then you just become a different human, you know? So if he can do it, but he can make other people do it, I believe it, you know? So it's been tested. And the stuff that this guy does, it's crazy, man. This is one of the guys that I really, really want to meet. I want to sit down with.
He is unique. He is unique, yeah. He's legend.
But he built it, you know? It's not something that, oh, you're just born with this and you're the Iceman. No, I mean, you find that about yourself, but man, the guy, he injected himself with some bacteria to see how he can, you know, and this is the limits, pushing the limits. But this is also how you test yourself to see what you can do. But that's how people become the people that inspire millions of people, you know? No risk, no story.
Sure. Exactly. So let's cut it and do it new part.